are getting off screens and hanging out more as a family. 2 items on your New Year's resolution list. Aaron Sieber, father of 2 and the founder of Jolly Outlaw, is here to help. We are really grateful to have him in the studio today. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning.
And I should say, for anybody who's like a long-term watcher of KXAN, Arzo Dost actually suggested you, and I'm so glad she did, because this is kind of a new venture, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, why don't you tell me a little bit about the Jolly Outlaw?
The Jolly Outlaw all came to be just because we need to come together as a community and help push each other to get outside and do more off-screen and more outdoor. So it was a way where we could unite under one flag, which is a spinoff of the Jolly Roger, the pirate flag, but with a Texas twist, and go out and start to explore Texas. Texas has so much going on that I feel part of the reason people don't is because they're overwhelmed by all the choices. So I found a way to kind of narrow it down for them and help them figure it out a little bit easier.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, people heard me say just the other day, I went to far west Texas. It looks like an alien planet. I can't believe it's part of our same state.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to explore and do. When people are looking at your website, there are some really cool tabs that they can get stuck into. You like to say, though, hey, I'm not a pro, I'm just a dad, and this is what works for us.
Several disclaimers. I'm not a pro, but I am a pro dad, I guess. So
I can say so. He has 2 fabulous daughters who are joining us today directly off camera.
And it really is one of these things that this is what works for us. This is how we've decided we're going to live healthy, to be able to go out more and prioritize things and kind of redefine what we call success, so that we're not chasing after somebody else's and never being successful at that. Because then that becomes white noise and it distracts us from going out and doing what we want to do.
And I think when you bring up kind of connection time as a family, it is so difficult. I think for busy parents, our lives are moving really quick. So this is something that you're attacking. Why do you think it's such a problem for families, to spend some time together outdoors?
I don't think that it's that they don't want to. I think it's they don't know how to.
Yeah.
I think that it's a matter of complacency. It's easy to stay within your little bubble and to...
An air-conditioned bubble.
Exactly. And to not know where to go and what to do and have that all planned out for you becomes overwhelming, because then what do? We started this summer, we went almost every weekend to Inks Lake. Oh. It's about an hour hour drive from our house. No screens, no nothing. Packed a cooler. We went kayaking for about an hour. We sat down, had a picnic lunch, and about 5 hours later, we had a good time. Yeah. But it was a matter of putting out the effort to try and figure out where we can go kayak, where it met everybody's needs. So I think that's one of the things that I want to try and get through, is that the Jolly Outlaw is a lifestyle brand. And to really, I'm going all in on this, to really embrace it, because there's so much to do out there. If you don't know, or you don't want to put the time in to figure it out, but you have a special interest, we're categorizing it by that interest, by the region. Eventually it'll be by the county, by the city. There's just a lot going on that I don't think people have an excuse, or a good excuse, to stay in, really.
Absolutely. Okay, so you're doing a lot of research really at this time, which is fun research.
Yes.
But talk to me a little bit about how you are gathering information. I saw, for example, Jackspedition packets that are available for download on your website.
Yes, we are trying to figure out a way where we can keep kids entertained and engaged, teach them a little Texas history and a little bit more about just what's going on out there in Texas, but also, again, get them off the device. I hear families putting movies on when they go on road trips.
Yep.
This is a perfect time. Bring a clipboard, throw on one of those Jackspedition activity packs, and then just have their crossword puzzles, word searches, hangman. There's everything going on. Draw your own version of what you see, Texas being. Things like that, where it forces them to use their imagination, and again, off the screen. Yeah. I know my kids, I know that draw to it, but they're entirely different when they're not on it. And I love it. You actually engage with them and you have a different relationship with them.
And I think as adults, we need to say some of us are addicted to our tech as well. So it's really good for us to get away from screens also. Okay, you do have kind of a health section of your website. And again, with disclaimers, it's kind of more about just making sure you feel good enough to get out and about. Yes. So can you just touch real quickly for me on kind of that section?
So the idea is that if we don't have our health, we can't really go out and do much, or we're going to be very limited to what we can do.
Yeah.
So I want to give alternative ideas. Obviously, we're going to splurge or want to splurge every now and then and eat that greasy burger.
They can be so good.
But if that's the anomaly and not the norm,
Sure.
that would be the idea. So
Yeah.
taking all of the information on the website, it's all stuff that we probably know and have heard before at some point, but just reminding you, hey, if this is something you're looking to do and you want to go out on these activities, maybe you should consider how you're treating your body and taking care of your body. So alternative drinks to sodas, we've got a couple here.
Yeah.
That get the sugary soda, soft drink off the plate or out of the cup.
That's another one for kids. It can be a very addicting substance, but us adults as well. So you've brought a couple of mocktails. We have about a minute left, so I want to make sure that we try a couple at the end, but let's go ahead and put together, this is kind of a pomegranate rose mocktail.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool. Talk to me about it.
All right, well, so one of the things we didn't go into is I sat down with AI. And I started typing in all of what I was looking for, what I wanted to have the Jolly Outlaw represent, and fine-tuning what these recipes look like. Then try them. Some people may not like them. They may be too strong for others, but they're all something that you can do to taste. So if you don't like ginger, don't put ginger in, but you can still have the rest of the drink as it's described. So it is one of these things where it's been just as much research goes into this. And it's been a lot of fun tasting all these.
Yeah.
So this one that we're going to make right now has pomegranate juice.
Okay. And this, as you said, is to taste, but I'm just going to eyeball how much he's putting in here for everybody else. It looks like about half the solo cup.
Half the cup?
Yeah, half the cup right there.
Now the rose water.
The rose water I know can be potent. I watch enough baking shows to know that.
So we're just gonna do a little dab.
A little touch. Oh, okay.
That might be too much.
I was going to say it was very delicate. I liked it.
All right. And then top it off with the sparkling water.
Okay, we have some sparkling water. If you don't mind, I'll do it for us.
Go for it.
Yay, nice and fizzy, and kids love that, right?
And then give it a stir.
I'm going to have to give this a sip. Ooh, I actually really like this.
You know what?
Not your worst work?
Well, I think I got a good amount. Before it was too much, rose. So again, adjust the taste.
Absolutely. Okay, and we're actually out of time, but I want to make sure that I talk about two other mocktails, I should say, that are listed on your website. I'm going to try them real quick just so
Okay.
everybody gets an idea.
Green apple fizz and the cucumber mint.
Oh yeah, that tastes really healthy, really fresh.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of it's got to be something with a little ginger in it.
Definitely ginger. And apple juice, ginger.
Tastes great.
All the recipes are online.
Yeah, and I mean, these are some really healthy things that you're putting in here. Pomegranate, so good for us. Ginger. Great stuff.
Yes.
And a good, flavorful, alternative to some of the things that we've gotten used to.
Yes,
You have some really cool ideas. I can't wait to see what happens in a year,
Thank
Aaron.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Learn more about experiencing Texas life and creating lasting memories with your loved ones at thejollyoutlaw.com.